an interconference affair lined up for you today as the San Antonio Spurs come in for this one. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers. Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. They've struggled game after game to secure wins. It's been a tough haul, but they've had to feel like this game provides them a good chance to win.
I think for the Barons, they talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
All talk, no walk. Simple as that. They just don't match up with the better teams in the NBA.
And a look at the starters for San Antonio. We've got DeRozan. DeJounte Murray is out there with Evan Fournier. Then there's Šarić, and it's Zamanic in at the 4. Fournier's shot is off. And so it's Bogdanović who brings up the ball for the Barons. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Porter's got the first points of the night for Baltimore. Murray against Ball. Murray, no good. Bogdanović looking around. First quarter, just over a minute played. Here's Cousins. Kicks it out to Bogdanović. Good on the triple. Emphasizing the importance of a deep bench. A few teams, Doris, across the league are riddled with injuries right now.
And this is where your front office has to find a way to be successful year after year. And players over the course of the season maybe won't play for 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and then an injury opens an opportunity, and you have to have a high level of professionalism at the end of the bench to endure these moments.
Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And it's out of bounds. The Barons able to retain possession here. His shot was hindered by that momentous mobile one block.
Some intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be there all night long.
Ball kicks to Cousins. It's Porter outside. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Porter's got 5.
Well, you love it. DeMarcus Cousins drawing the defensive attention and still has the court awareness to make the play.
And here's Fournier to end the run. Pass to Šarić, and slam dunk by Šarić.
Well, there's a craftiness that is required in this instance, and Fournier makes the right pass.
Ball, the pass to Porter. Now Bell. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Cousins, and Bell kicks to Bogdanović. Shot clock at 6. Sheds over Fournier, and Baltimore again with the bucket.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, I caught up with Greg Popovich. Said priority number 1 is to not let these guys get going from the perimeter. Do not let them start getting open threes. It's a recipe for disaster. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. Obviously, the 3-ball is a big concern for any defense.
Evan Fournier has proven over and over, you better get a hand up and contest from 3, or he will make you pay.
And Bogdanović throws it down.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
I tell you, you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Spurs trail by 8. Rebounded by Bell.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Ball, no good. Now Murray. No points in the game yet for him. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in.
Poor design there defensively. They know he's a knockdown shooter from that spot.
That's not coming with the right mentality. The defender neither closes the space nor challenges the shot. That's frustrating as a coach, boy.
Here is Porter following the score by DeJounte Murray. Shoots over Fournier and no good, trying to use the glass. The Barons come into this one after the win against the Knicks in New York. Murray outside. Saric passes to Fournier, trying to find Murray, and he gets it to him. Good. Murray's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, Evan Fournier is a fundamentally sound player, and if his teammates are open, he will deliver the rock.
They get a hand on it. Bogdanovich passes the ball. Over Murray. Again, the miss by Baltimore. And so it's DeRozan. He'll bring it up for San Antonio. 4-point game.
And you watch DeRozan play, he still has that explosiveness. Great first step out of the triple threat position. Can switch directions on the go. Is still a handful to slow on the perimeter. Some power coming from the PG.
That's right, GA. Seeing more and more of that these days. Backcourt guys who can elevate.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
Greg, with the explosiveness you talked about with DeRozan, it helps that he finishes so well when he gets to the rim.
And maybe not what he once was, but he is still an elite level athlete. Doesn't only have to drop the hammer when he gets to the rim either. Very smooth at adjusting mid-flight to finish at the rim.
That's good from DeMar DeRozan.
Well, I think you know what you're going to get from DeMar DeRozan at the free throw line. Year in and year out, this guy's going to be about 80-85%.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. Baltimore leading by 5. Cousins dishes the ball. DeRozan against Ball. Now here's DeRozan. He's guarded closely. The pass to Samanic. Fournier for 3. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Boy, a really tough quarter for this guy. Just struggling to make shots right now.
No good from Cousins.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
Fournier with the ball, now guarded by Porter. And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way. Oh, that's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. Baltimore will retain possession. And some changes here for the Barons. Bobby Portis comes in for Bell. And Monte Morris subbed in for Bogdan Bogdanovich. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Saric. Johnson comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Whitey's checked in for Fournier. And it's Mike Conley in for DeJounte Murray. Now, here is Morris. Right side, Portis. Got a hand on it. Baltimore shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
Bobby Portis taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. I'm sure you've got a list, Greg, of players you've visited with over the years who you really enjoy spending some time with and talking to.
I mean, there's so many, Kevin. A couple guys, and there is a little bias as a point guard, but Damian Lillard and Steph Curry and Chris Paul are 3 guys that, you know, I enjoy sitting down and talking shop with Giannis, you know, witnessing his journey to greatness. All the while, he remains humble and really appreciates his position. So several of these guys, I'm also not just an analyst partner, but a fan and a big fan of theirs.
You are a fan indeed. Now Morris following the miss by Michael Conley from deep. Morris into the lane and no good. So the Spurs will take it the other way. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, just way too many turnovers in that one. If you can't protect the ball, you can't expect to win.
That's exactly right. Miscues drive a coach crazy. You're giving them more opportunities than you're giving yourself, and that's always problematic.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
The offensive rebound. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Marcus at the line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's Conley. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Passes it to Plumlee. Johnson kicks to Conley. 5 on the clock. High arcing shot. He lays it in.
Well, this guy could have powered on the interior, but goes to the floater game. This is one of his specialties.
Pass to Portis. In the corner, it's Martin. Over Conley. And too long on the shot.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Spurs trail by 6. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Morris. Lets a floater go. San Antonio with the rebound. Outside Conley. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
Mike Conley continues to perform at a high level. Over a decade as a pro, still doing work.
Conley against Morris. Pass to Portis. Six on the shot clock. Knocked away. And stolen by White. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Here's Johnson. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. And it's sent back by White. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by White. On defense, San Antonio. Trailing by 4. Portis finds Evans. Knocks it loose. White with the defensive effort.
I'll tell you, everything went right in terms of execution. He just can't get it to go.
And then Johnson with the dunk.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
So timeout called here, the first for the Barons.
And momentum going the other way. Can they find some answers?
I think here you have just got to get back to what you do best and then live with the results.
And the Spurs making a change here. Walker's checked in. And a chance now to take a look at some numbers for him. Evans passes to Morris. And there's the pass to Roby. And it's Mason Plumlee with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Morris finds Evans. Off the mark, and the drought continues. San Antonio trailing here. Now here's Conley. Outside, Walker. Shot clock at 6. Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. Two on the clock. Here's Conley. Can't tie it up as that one misses. And Morris has got the ball here for the Barons. Evans. Johnson with the block. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Baltimore with the ball. Outside, Martin. Passes it to Evans. Clock at 6. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. For Baltimore, they have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Shards checked in for San Antonio. And both free throws good for Evans.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And he's able to get it back. Plumlee finds Walker. The shot's good from Plumlee. 1:24 left in the first quarter. Evans feeling it out a bit. Martin up top. Here's Roby, covered by Sharich, and it's good, 2 points. And the Barons lead by 4.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Outside Conley. That's a 2-pointer from Walker. Baltimore with the rebound. Morris has got 4 rebounds in this game. In the corner, it's Martin. It's stolen by Sharich. There's Walker with the 3. That one falls, coming off Johnson's feed.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Evans. Baltimore needs to get off a shot here. Martin for 3. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 4 rebounds in this game. Johnson kicks to Conley. Outside, Walker over Evans. And it's Walker again missing.
That's a shot he makes with regularity, but that time the defense up to the challenge.
And we'll be back with you shortly. Just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far, guys, from the Barons.
Attacking, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the line.
They have done a tremendous job of drawing contact and putting officials in a place where they simply have to make the call.
Walker's gone just 1 of 5 from the field. They've got Evans. He's out there with ball. Bobby Portis out there with Martin. And it's Roby in at the 4-man position. Martin goes in, and it's sent back by Plumlee. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. On for the Spurs. Plumlee out there with Johnson. Then there's Sharich. Then it's Conley. And it's Walker in at the shooting guard position. The Spurs shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. For Baltimore, Bailey's checked in for Portis, and it's Bogdanovich in for Martin. San Antonio also making some changes. Fournier comes in for Johnson, and Murray's subbed in for Mike Conley.
One shot.
Greg is a broadcaster. Who have been some of your favorite personalities to cover?
Man, that's a great question. Most of the stars, I'm a big fan of Durant and Steph and LeBron and those guys. Chris Paul's another one that's a favorite. So many other guys, there's so much more personality and so much more confidence these guys have working in front of the camera. I think that just makes for a better experience.
Somebody asked me the other day, who is my favorite? You know who I said?
Who was that?
Greg Anthony.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's true.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Barons. They've got Bell. Evans out there with ball. Then there's Bogdanovich. And it's Roby in at the 4. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
For San Antonio, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Baltimore. Porter comes in for Jacob Evans. The Spurs also with the sub. DeRozan's checked in. And that one falls for Fournier.
You know, there's an unpredictability about what Evan Fournier does that keeps defenders guessing. This guy is outstanding at using that to his advantage.
Over in the corner, Cousins misses the three. San Antonio leading by 4. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop. And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
And here's Bogdanovich for 3. Again, the miss by Baltimore. And Murray's got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
You want to continue to build on this lead. Right now, still a little too close for comfort.
Pass to Cousins. And just miss after miss right now. DeRozan against Ball. Offensive rebound. Baltimore trails by 8. And it's Baltimore on the break. Poked away. It's stolen by Saric. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Bogdanovich against Fournier.
I'll tell you, it has not been this guy's best night, but the teammates have been there to pick up the slack. Love it.
Scooped up. Tipped away. And stolen by Fournier. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
This is, to me, a special ability to draw fouls, and that's one of the things that sets DeRozan apart. We see him work these angles, get the call all the time.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
An okay season at the free throw line for him so far, sitting right around 76%.
A free throw drop for DeRozan. Both free throws good from DeRozan.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And Baltimore calls time here.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
We've got a moment now to check out the Eastern Conference standings and see where everyone is sitting as things begin to settle down just a bit through the midway point of the season. Taking a look at the Barons, they're down in the bottom of the conference. Their fans hope they can turn it around and show some improvement.
And you know, for Baltimore, they've had such a disappointing season. Even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
It just feels like they're sputtering right now. Every time you think they've turned the corner, they really haven't.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. There's Porter with the three. And it's going to be out of bounds. Baltimore will retain possession. Here's Cousins. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. There will be a subtle but significant change on the court this season. Wilson is now the official basketball supplier for the NBA and its affiliated leagues. In fact, they were the association's original supplier starting in 1946. Now, after a nearly 4-decade hiatus, Wilson reclaims that position. Guys, back to you.
We appreciate that, David. Thank you. Murray. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done differently, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of them.
Yes.
And the Spurs with some changes. Summonich just checked in, and Derek White subbed in for Fournier. Good on both. Baltimore trails by 14.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And Baltimore calls time here.
Trying to snap them out of this little slump.
Just feels like the basket is looking awfully small to them right now. They're having a hard time getting anything to fall.
Baltimore with the ball. It's a 14-point game.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
It's off his foot, and the ref's whistling a kick ball. Murray against Ball for three. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
The pass to Bell. They could use a bucket, and then Cousins with the dunk.
This is what keeps Cousins' percentages up. The gimmies, my goodness.
Here's DeRozan. Porter with a block. And it's Baltimore on the break. Cousins with the ball. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
I'll tell you this, if DeMarcus Cousins is on my team, I'm trying to give him an opportunity to finish near the rim every time up the floor.
Here's Murray. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so it's ball with it. He brings it up for the Barons. The feed now to Bogdanovich. And Bogdanovich throws it down.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Murray, the pass to Samanic. Saric outside. Here's DeRozan. And here's a look at what's coming up for Baltimore. On Friday, they'll be playing against Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers.
And for their matchup with Louisville, they won't have much room for error in that one. A team like this will punish mistakes, but I could see them walking away with this one.
First free throw is good. And some changes here for the Barons. Portis comes in for Bell. And Morris subbed in for Bogdanovich. And San Antonio also making a switch. Mike Conley's checked in for DeJounte Murray. DeMar DeRozan hits them both. And with the frequency of three-point shots skyrocketing, Greg, does the drastic change concern you? And should something be done to lessen the dependence these teams have on threes?
It's crazy. I mean, we're starting to see teams take more threes than twos. You know, some have said maybe limit fouls on three-pointers to only 2 free throws. That might eliminate some of the flopping on those long-range attempts, but I really feel like this is the evolution of the game, and that three is going to be vital.
It's stolen by Morris. Porter looking it over. And it's blocked by Conley.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
Passes to Cousins. Portis kicks to Ball. Pass to Cousins. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by DeRozan. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Conley with a wide open look. No good on the three. Baltimore trails by 17. And DeRozan sends it back.
Well, DeMar DeRozan, really strong effort on the defensive end, pays off by sending that opportunity back.
First trip to the line for him here.
2 shots.
Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good for Baltimore. Roby's checked in, and Martin subbed in for Michael Porter. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Johnson's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Baltimore trails by 19. Morris with the ball. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. This is his first free throw of the game.
Shooting for your Barons, Monte Morris. Taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. Walker's checked in for White. And Morris drops them both. And here is Conley. Poke loose. And it's Baltimore on the break. Morris with the ball. It's deflected, and he gets it back.
Just can't find a shot. It's no wonder they're losing. I mean, he's been completely scoreless all night.
Now Conley. They get the rebound. DeRozan. Good work defensively by Morris.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Out to the right wing. Portis finds Martin. Johnson against Evans. 6 to shoot. Morris outside. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
DeRozan against Morris. Banked in off the glass. DeRozan's got 7.
A determined scorer down low. We know this about DeMar DeRozan. He is always looking to put pressure on the defense.
And the wide open shot from Morris. And it's off from 3-point range. Spurs leading by 19. Here's Conley. And he converts the layup. 6 points for him.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Morris outside. There's 1:54 left in the first half of the game. Here's Evans. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. 1:44 left in the first half of basketball. Now here's Walker. And finished off by Walker.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
Oh, right. And wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness. The D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
Here's Morris after the basket by San Antonio. Shot clock at 5. Here's Martin. Up and in. It's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Here's Conley. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Boy, don't let the small frame fool you. Mike Conley's so tough on the interior.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And that 84% free throw percentage is a testament to all the hard work he's put in on the line.
First one falls for him.
I think Mike Conley historically will always be part of the grit and grind mentality where he spent his career in Memphis. But this guy's skill set allows him to fit in with any organization.
Mason Plumlee's checked in for San Antonio. Evan Fournier comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Conley drops them both. Here's Morris. Outside, Martin. Evans outside. And the three off target.
I'll tell you, you hate to pin this on one person, but his inefficiencies at the offensive end are holding this group back.
It's his first trip to the line.
And that 82% free throw percentage this season must have him feeling pretty good about himself at the line.
The first one falls. And Johnson drops them both. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the half. Evans against Walker. Pass to Morris. The pass to Martin. Shot clock at 6. He tries for 3. The rebound by Johnson.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Passes it to Walker. And that one falls, coming off Conley's feed. Walker's got 5 points in the quarter.
There's a reason Mike Conley's teammates love playing with him. If you're open, I promise he'll find you.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. It's San Antonio delivering the blowout. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. A big night so far for DeJounte Murray. He had 13 points and 5 assists. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, they knocked the wind out of the defense in transition, converting fast break baskets in volume. It's a runaway lead right now. In fact, this looks like a track meet.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the home team.
When you're that cold from the floor, it's always going to be an uphill battle. But the ball movement has to be the priority in the second half. They need to be creating a lot of good shots if they want to dig into this lead.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back, Kevin Harlan. Go. Go with
it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave's team.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been quite a game for DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. On the court for San Antonio, we've got Murray. Also Evan Fournier out there. DeRozan out there with Saric. And it's Samanic in at the 4 spot. Now here's Porter. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's foul number 2 for him. A fantastic mobile 1 block. This one deserves another look.
Determined to protect the lead with the all-out effort defensively. Superb anticipation on the block.
Here's Cousins. Tight defense on him. Rebounded by the Spurs. Samanic just got his 6th rebound on the night. Ball against Murray. Teardrop shot. Baltimore with the rebound. Cousins, the pass to Bell. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
How impressive is the vertical of Jordan Bell? My goodness.
Pass to DeRozan. Over Bogdanovich, and DeRozan at the basket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got 6 assists in the game. To the paint, here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
No, big finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow. Murray against Ball, and that one goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Porter. And we've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. You look at the Spurs. They're way down there in the conference standings, looking for a lot of improvement during the second half of the season.
And you know, for the Spurs, they've been stuck in a rut the entire season. We talk about teams maximizing their potential. Well, the opposite's been the case with this group.
I think for them, it's obviously been very disappointing. And I get the sense it's starting to weigh on them night in and night out. Boy, plenty of time left in the clock. He needs to keep his poise. That's his 4th foul now.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the 3rd. Pass the ball. Just 5 to shoot. And it's blocked. Ball against Murray. On the wing, DeRozan. Bell with the block.
Well, the high motor, versatile defender, Jordan Bell, twice on the pipes.
Bogdanovich, no luck.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And the pass to Samanic. Back to Murray. Floats it up for Šarić. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
For Baltimore, they have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well. Mason Plumlee's checked in for San Antonio. San Antonio leading by 21. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Murray outside. Clock at 6. Pass to DeRozan. From deep three-point range, the long distance 3 is buried. DeRozan's got 12 in the game.
My goodness gracious, DeMar DeRozan from the next zip code. This guy is impossible to check.
Porter finds Cousins. Baltimore moving that ball around. Outside Porter. Plumlee with the rebound.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Now Ball, following the three-point attempt by DeRozan. He can't get that one to fall. Plumlee with some nice D. Feeds it to Murray. Good, and it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 3 assists in the game. And so it's Ball who brings the ball up for Baltimore. Pass to Cousins, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee.
Boogie Cousins understands how to catch defenders out of position and get to the free throw line. Nicely done.
For Baltimore, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. And the first one drops.
Well, throughout the early part of his career, DeMarcus Cousins was a high-usage focal point of the offense. Now you're being asked to play more alongside other star players and adjust your role. He's done exactly that.
And the Spurs making a change here. White's checked in. Both free throws good from Cousins. Here's White. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, it's a misnomer that in the era of three-point shooting, people don't want anyone to take mid-range shots. Many of the league's elite players still thrive there. Kawhi Leonard is one, and he explained how. He said it's hard to defend guys that shoot twos. Once you get to the playoffs, it becomes a half-court game. Teams won't allow you to take wide-open shots or threes. Guys, back to you.
DA, thank you.
And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Here's Cousins. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. White, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. The Spurs making a switch here. Jackson's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Ball with it. 7 points in the game. They get a hand on it, and it's going to be out of bounds. Baltimore will retain possession. Jacob Evans, he's checked in for Michael Porter.
Jacob Evans.
Evans against Fournier. Shoots it. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot. Well, what he lacks in size for a typical center, he makes up for with all that athleticism. Boy, can he elevate.
Ball dishes to Bogdanovich. Pass to Bell. Murray with the defensive effort. San Antonio with the ball. It's Fournier on the wing. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Fournier's got 9 points.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Now here's Evans. Ball from long range. And it's White with the rebound.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Here's Plumlee. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
They are just killing them on the interior.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And here's Bell. The pass to Evans. Outside, Bogdanovich. Just 5 on the clock. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here.
Well, he hasn't proven to be much of a floor spacer for them. He had the 1-3, but that was back in the first half.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Now, here's ball. 7 points in the game. Here's Cousins, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
How about the power that Boogie Cousins brings to the table? Tough matchup for any defender.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Taking 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
And the Spurs with some changes. Johnson comes in for Evan Fournier, and Walker subbed in for Murray. And Cousins drops them both.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Left side, Walker. Over Morris. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Walker's got 10 points.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a hostile environment.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat out take over. This is impressive.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Now here's White. 9 points in the game so far. And the rejection by Cousins.
The aggressive defense by DeMarcus Cousins, not content to just alter it, send it back.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
Big time play right there, showing the activity and ability to impact this game.
And the rejection by Cousins. They recover it. And they double up Cousins. Here's Roby. Offline with his 3. And the Spurs with possession here. White finds Walker. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, a look at Lonnie Walker, the 18th pick in that 2018 draft. He's being brought along slowly as the team loves his potential, but he has a lot to smooth out with his game.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Greg, you talk about the upside with Lonnie Walker. This team loves his athleticism.
You know, not the typical Spurs-type player we've seen targeted in the past. An athletic maniac who can fly end to end. The polish to his game will come. It's just going to take some time.
Baltimore making a switch here. Martin's checked in, so he gets them both. Now Evans. 6 points for him. Morris outside. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Morris has got 5 points now this quarter. And so it's Conley bringing up the ball for the Spurs. Samanic passes to Zizic. Outside Conley. He kicks it to Johnson. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Now here is Martin. Here's Morris. A floater. Here's Portis. And it's Samanic with the rebound. Samanic has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Walker. And the dunk by Walker.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now, here is Morris. 9 points in the game so far. A shot by Evans. Nobody around. Connects from three-point range. Evans has got 9.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he can afford to give him.
Well, Mike has specialized over the years in being able to get defenders committed. Nicely done.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
He doesn't get the second one. There's 1:40 left in the 3rd. Walker against Morris. Here's Evans. And Evans throws it down.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge.
No good from Zizic.
You know what? Just a little fancy on that possession there. Just go up in rhythm.
A 3 from Morris. That one, no good. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Morris against Walker. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
At the line of the Spurs, Lonnie Walker, taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Walker. Sharge checked in for San Antonio. And so Walker nails both of them. 44 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
Here we go, San Antonio!
Morris with the ball. He's got 9. Kicks it to Evans. Roby the pass to Evans.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
Johnson in the corner. Back to Conley. There's 14 seconds left to play in the 3rd. 6 on the shot clock. Outside, Walker takes the 3. He's off on that one. And so it's San Antonio, leading by a full 31 points at the end of the quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. Back to the action after this word. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. They've got Martin, and it's Schofield in at the small forward. Walker looking for an opening. No good with the triple.
Well, he had the defense's attention, dropping 2 threes in the first half, but he hasn't made one since.
Clemens passes to Martin. You know, Doris, I've heard some experts say, you look at the 6-foul limit, the NBA is basically the only sports that takes stars off the floor. Doris, what would you think if they just tacked on an extra free throw instead?
Kevin, I absolutely hate the idea. The best defensive teams at any level of basketball guard at a high level without fouling. There's the drama aspect of a player being in foul trouble, either at the start of the game or down the stretch. It has an impact on strategy. It's something that I'm a traditionalist on. I think the 6-foul rule should remain in the game.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And so he makes both from the line. And so Conley will bring the ball up for San Antonio. Passes to Young. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Johnson outside. Shot clock at 6. Schofield grabs the board.
I'll tell you, even though he's not playing his best basketball, the team has played well and picked it up. I love it.
Here's Clemens. That's tipped. Conley left side. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Johnson surveying the floor. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And buckets like that have been hard to come by. Not the most exciting game. Both sides look way off in terms of their shooting.
Well, you have to appreciate the defensive battle for sure. Both squads struggling on the offensive end. We call this grit and grind.
Bucket is good. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play.
And it's blocked by Conley. In transition, here come the Spurs. Walker leading the charge. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Martin. And the Barons making a change here. Bell's checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Johnson. And Fournier subbed in for Mike Conley. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Fournier's gone just 3 of 10 shooting from the field. Martin with it, now guarded by Saric. Again, the miss by Baltimore. Outside, Walker. Floats one. He takes it up and lays it in.
Well, there's an all-around aspect to Evan Fournier's game and a really smart decision with the ball there.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Outside, Martin shoots a 3. Rebounds San Antonio. Charge has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
It's good. And that's 11 points for Evan Fournier.
Well, this is the kind of thing that will help that shooting percentage. Fournier in the high percentage area.
Here's Clemens, guarded by Walker. Shot to stop the run. Clemens with the bucket. Clemson's got his first points in this one.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
Here's Fournier. Bell with the block. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. And the Spurs with some changes. Jackson, he's checked in for Saric. And Derek White subbed in for Walker. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Here's Clemens. Right now we're seeing more athletes willing to talk about mental challenges, be it depression or anxiety. And you know, Doris, the NBA is no exception. How encouraging do you find that?
Well, I think that whether NBA players or professional athletes in any sport know it or not, they are looked to as examples, as role models. And so I think everybody wins in this situation, Kevin. The players, the fans themselves, many of whom are dealing with the similar challenges. So, listen, life is not easy. Wherever you can get help, go and take it. I love this initiative from the NBA.
Wow, he got whacked on that, which shouldn't be much debate there.
Shooting for your Bears, Schofield. At the line for two.
First free throw is good. And he makes both free throws. And here's Fournier. Greg, the NBA under Adam Silver has been aggressive, looking for ways to enhance the product and attract fans. Where do you fall? Wow, hammering it in!
DeMar DeRozan says, I've got a little showman in me. My goodness gracious, sets the crowd on fire with that one.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's all you, boy. Can't fag you. Make a play. Come on, please.
Here's Clemens. Pass to Silva. It's Martin on the wing. He's guarded by Fournier. Now Martin. Just 5 to shoot. The shot comes out. Good defensive work there by Young. DeRozan surveying the D.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
That's his first personal.
Here's White. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Pass to Schofield. You hear about the extinction of great NBA big men. Do you see it that way? And if so, Greg, is the game that has changed, or perhaps a dip in the talent at that position that has changed?
You know, you think back to the likes of Russell, Wilt, Kareem, and Hakeem, and Robinson, and Shaq. Some would say, well, we just got lucky. But in a lot of ways, we still have the dominance of the big man. They just play more outside of the paint, right? You know, Giannis.
Yep.
You look at what he can do. Anthony Davis and the way he plays the game. I mean, LeBron, in essence, is a big man. I mean, you still can dominate the game as a big. It's just that you now can actually, in some respects, have more impact because you're involved in more facets of the game.
Here's Fournier. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
As an NBA player, I think you have to be willing to embrace contact, and Evan Fournier does it right there.
At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. Good on the second free throw. Greg, you know, we're seeing players take control of their free agent destiny. Do players get a bad rap for that and switching teams?
Listen, I don't know if you get a bad rap, but you're going to catch the wrath of the fan base. You think of Paul George in Indy or KD in OKC, and fans, they're going to feel jilted. There's no doubt about it. They're going to feel scorned.
Yeah.
Chris Silva taking 2 shots.
And the first one drops. He makes 1 of 2 that time. And the Spurs with possession here. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Get out of here, San Antonio!
And there's the pass to Schofield. Here's Clemens. White covering. Clemens passes to Martin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bell. That's tipped. Outside, White. Greg, compare the times when you played as an NBA player with a lot more contact and a lot was like go on the floor to what we're seeing now. And there seem to be a lot of whistles, a lot of stoppage of play.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. You know, you got to allow players to defend. And if they're in a legal guarding position, let them do their job. You know, eliminate the cheap ones. Part of the issue, though, partner, is now so much of the game is played on an island, right? You don't have the crowds that you typically would see guys in back in our era. There's more space. The court, in that sense, is bigger. You're out there kind of on your own, man, and these guys are crafty at drawing fouls.
It's never been harder for a defender.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
What a polished offensive game. Fournier cashing in from the mid-range.
Here's Clemens, and Derek White picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Baltimore making a switch here. Kobe's checked in. Walker's checked in for the Spurs. Here's Clemens. On the dunk contest, we saw Michael Jordan take on Dominique Wilkins. These days, not as many star players are participating in these skills competitions, like Greg, the slam dunk.
I think it's a great point you raised, Kevin, and I think in part because back in that era, the reality is guys didn't make the kind of dollars they make today. And there was more risk, I guess, in the mindset of guys today, and they didn't want to take that challenge on. So I wish we would see more of our stars in the slam dunk contest, but
yes.
I don't think that's going to be the case, unfortunately, as much as we'd all like to see it.
He's off on the second. And so it's Walker with it, who brings it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Passes it to Young. Here's Zizic. Outside, Walker. The three. Baltimore with the rebound.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Now here's White. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Martin. Looking to end his cold spell. And now Young running the floor all by himself. Rob. Here's Clemens. Pass to Schofield. Four on the shot clock. That's a two from Martin. The rebound by the Spurs. White's got his fifth rebound in this one. Down the stretch of last season, Greg, we saw some teams resting healthy players, even ones out of the playoff hunt, and they got fined. But is the amount, which I think is about $25,000, is that enough to discourage that tactic?
I don't think it is. Not when team revenues are measured in the hundreds of millions. You got to do more to keep them honest. But by the same token, if I get $200 million invested in a guy, I want to protect my investment. And so if I can rest them here or there and prolong their career, I think my organization is all the better for it.
Clemens passes to Roby. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Clearly a foul.
That's his second personal foul. Shooting for your Barons, Isaiah Roby. At the line for two.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good. Jordan Bell's checked in for Baltimore. And San Antonio also making a switch. Michael Conley, he's checked in for White. He hits both from the stripe. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. Conley with it. Pass to Walker. And we've seen more attention given to how fans, Greg, interact with players during the games, whether it's verbal or even physical. Is that something the league's got to keep an eye on?
Absolutely. It's all about making sure that everyone is protected and respected. This is entertainment, right? This is not do or die from a life standpoint, and we don't want to have things escalate.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of barrier there. I agree.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Spurs.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Evan Fournier.
Boy, whatever was needed, he provided it. He was the jack of all trades. Big bucket on one end, big defensive play on the other. I thought his influence was felt all over the floor.
The first one falls. Both good from the line that time. There's 53 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Conley feeling it out. He kicks to Jackson. The pass to Young. And he lays it straight in.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Outside Conley. Jackson with the bounce pass. Poked away. Here's Clemens. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time